Whatever name you may use, to me, it will always be the Polish shul. The shul is a part of me. It is in my genes. My grandfather, Shmuel Eckes, had the first services in his home before the building that we had on Euclid and Raymond Streets.
I'm a third-generation congregant. My grandfather, Samuel Lichten, was one of the founding members of Anshe Sfard in 1915 on Raymond Street.
My father-in-law first was in the free loan, and they used to lend money to anyone in the city. I think you only got up to $500, no interest to pay it back.
Oh, my grandfather, Joseph Migdal, happened to be at the bris of Jack Letterman, was one of the original 5 or 6 people who started the free loan.
Did you go shul when you were a little girl?
I did. I have been a member of Anshe Sfard since I was a child. And I remember my dad, when all the children were running around and making a commotion, my dad said, sit down, and we had to sit in our chairs, but we loved the synagogue.
I go back about 80 years. I came with my bubby and my mom and my family.
I've been a member of the synagogue since 1942 when I married Lou.
I was probably 7, 8 years old. We used to gather acorns and we'd go from the synagogue to the Jewish Center through the park.
I was bar mitzvahed on Raymond Street Synagogue, 1941. My father and I've been a member of the Anshe Sfard ever since.
So I grew up at the Raymond Street Shul, which had a balcony with women throwing candy down at bar mitzvahs. It was the greatest pleasure of our life.
Time went by, we progressed, and we went over to Copley. My dad then was president of the synagogue, and he held that office, I think, for 10 years. They said that it was known as Anshe Eckes because my dad had his whole heart and soul in the synagogue. Where the women used to sit in Copley and Noble, they called that the chicken coop. Well, when we had the bar mitzvah, the ceiling wasn't even completed.
I came here on a stagecoach from New York when I was 4. For many, many years, Copley Road was really the Jewish community.
The Stein family goes back 5 generations. We started with Reuben Stein, and then we went to Alex and Anna, then my parents, Morton and Jerry, and then Carmi and I, and then we're fortunate enough to have our 4 children and our 4 daughters, our son-in-law, and our baby Matthew.
We have the joy and pleasure of having both my mother's side of the family and father's to be 5 generations of membership in Revere Road Synagogue. So we're deeply rooted in the synagogue since its inception.
It provides a lot of spiritual and personal enrichment, enjoyment, and growth.
The people here have always been so warm and so inviting.
I got drafted for Minyan on a regular basis. I now go to the Monday and Thursday morning service, which I quite enjoy.
When we first came from Mexico, and that's why we joined. We felt at home.
Well, this synagogue is really like a home away from home. I just love coming here for Minyan. Rabbi's always so friendly, Kayla's always so welcoming to our home for Shabbat dinner.
It's just a great feeling to be part of other folks with the same interests and backgrounds. I enjoy coming to High Holy Day services. I just absolutely love listening to the Sasankan Boy Choir, along with the cantor that we bring in from Israel.
I think what drew me to Anshe Sfard, first of all, are Mendy and Kayla. My passion with the synagogue has been with women's groups, with Mazel and the 19th of Kislev and these monthly programs and how they bring the whole community together. The children feel at home in a place where they should feel at home. And that's what Anshe Sfard is.
that my grandchildren are here and enjoy it.
It's very welcoming. In fact, for several years, I think my little one, who's now 12, thought he was part of their family.
I really feel this place exerts a very warm and inviting atmosphere, it's especially with families that have young children, such as I do.
My generations go back 4 generations. So when Kayla called and said there was a program, there wasn't a question. We got in the car and we came. I also did programs at the house for the last 4 years, the LLL learning program, and it was my way of giving back.
Lots of people were very enthusiastic about Judaism and supportive of children and who they are.
Coming to Shabbat with the young families, because I think it's really important for young kids to be introduced to their Jewish identity early. That they have really good teaching and they have really good food and it's beautiful. I can learn more about what I believe.
I enjoy just coming here and being part of it and helping out in the kitchen or helping with the high holidays.
People are really nice to me and they kind of treat me like I'm family.
I love about the synagogue that we can come every Thursday to Mommy and me and play with lots of other babies his age, and I can talk to other moms and whatever worries or stresses I have going on that week.
Well, we've been coming here since I was a little girl. For us it really means community and a place where we can come and feel comfortable, enjoy our Jewish faith.
We loved being part of the Bat Mitzvah Club. I went through with my 3 daughters. We're here to volunteer, we're here to help. So we get to come and we have fun, and we get to come and we cook, and we deliver baskets, and we go to services. And they don't often get to experience religion as a fun event.
I got involved with selling raffle tickets and soliciting membership. Phyllis was president of the sisterhood at one time, so really it was a family involvement. The golf outing was something that my brother Robert really directed, along with Art Gruber and a few of the other members. That perpetuated for many, many years.
I met the Rabbi and Kayla in '91 when they were part-time Rabbi and Rebbitzin down in Canton. I changed synagogues just because of the spirit and because of the feeling, and because I guess I found something in their leadership that I hadn't found elsewhere.
It's what Kayla and Mendy have brought to our community, all the phenomenal programming, generating involvement for people across all different segments of Judaism. From the first time we met them, having a Shabbat dinner at their house when they first came to the community, to today, they played a very important role in our lives.
The reason that Jody and I have become such a big part of it, this synagogue is very embracing to those members that are here. I've had a spiritual growth in respect to Rabbi Sasakin, either at shul on Saturday mornings or Jody coming Thursday with our grandchildren and enjoy Mom and me times here.
When I met Rabbi, I just fell in love with his heart and his kindness and Kayla's. I spent a year going to services virtually every night, and Rabbi became one of my closest friends.
My mother passed last year, but the Rabbi and Kayla just reached out to my family. And Kayla would take the kids, and they would sing Yiddish songs to her and just really embrace my mother. But it made all of us kind of have a rejuvenation or overly energized our belief in the religion, the community, and everything else. My father now, and my sister and their families down in Florida, they just joined the Chabad in Palm Beach Gardens, which had never been before.
The value that Rabbi and Kayla bring, they're making us value our religion, not just on the religious practicing aspect, but also on a community, friendship sort of level. Rabbi comes to our house and plays basketball on Sundays. I love the way our children are drawn to Rabbi, and they literally come running with arms raised in the air when they see Rabbi and Kayla.
It all dates back to when my 2 daughters were very young, and they had the benefit of meeting with Kayla. My late wife, Jody, blessed memory, loved studying the Torah and Torah classes with the Rabbi. I'm also so grateful to Kayla for all her efforts in getting the Sunday school children out to visit my mother. My children certainly have enjoyed all the events. We love having a little schnapps with the rabbi on Purim.
This beautiful building that we are enjoying is due to Rabbi and Kayla, who always believed it could be done.
I remember when we were talking about $3-4 million, I said, Rabbi, how much of a mortgage do you think we can hold? And he looked at me and he said, mortgage? We're not going to have a mortgage. We're going to pay cash. I says, Rabbi? He says, we will pay cash.
When they started to talk about this, it was probably one of the worst economic times that we'd had in the United States since the Great Depression. Even though we called it a synagogue, we basically had a very large warehouse with a kitchen. I think every one of us dug very deep to make this happen.
I would like to thank everyone who has contributed in so many different ways to this beautiful building, and especially to my husband, who has seen his dream come true for his family to continue this wonderful tradition.
When Rabbi Mendy showed me the grandiose plans for the remodeled shul, I thought that he either smoked some funny cigarettes that are very popular at Kent State, or he finished a bottle of Absolute. Sure, you're going to build it when I am drafted by the Celtics. Lo and behold, he accomplished the seemingly impossible. I will lift my yarmulke in honor and respect for what Rabbi Mendy and Kayla have accomplished.
Build it and they'll come. We did it the opposite way. We first came and then the building followed.
Well, I'm honored that we had the chance to participate in the development of it, and it was a dream that I at first really thought was something that was almost impossible to accomplish.
Oh, this new synagogue is magnificent. It belongs in the middle of Manhattan. It's hard to imagine a structure like this in Akron, Ohio.
It's almost like the dessert of all the years.
Whether it's artwork or furniture, you could see people's involvement.
It was the objective of my artwork was to create something of beauty which really demonstrated the beauty of Judaism, both religiously as well as culturally.
The one thing I wish is that Lou was here to see it. It was always his dream to have a beautiful new synagogue.
And we're so appreciative of every donor who had anything to do with making it a reality. But the truth is, it's not the bricks and mortar, it's the people inside the building. It's the community that's been formed that this facility has enabled.
I love that.